My brothers and sisters, this is ODJ, Otis Drip Jones, MrDoItMan himself. And on last week, I did a video to a situation that happened in Bethel, Ohio, where a young white man was protesting the death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, pushing the movement that Black Lives Matter. And in this situation, he was sucker punched in the back of the head by a coward wearing a Confederate flag bandana, which doesn't make any sense to me that you're so American that you support traitors and support those who wanted to keep black people enslaved. So on my YouTube channel, MrDoItMan, I received a comment from Mike. And this is what Mike said. Mike said, that a-hole that got beat was trying to burn the American flag in a terrorist group called BLM. First he stole the flag from the bikers and then he tried to burn it. Funny how you don't support the truth with your movement. You only support what makes you and your anti-American group look good. This group is anti-white and anti-American and are viewed now by most Americans as a terrorist group and will be treated as such. Yeah, we all see what is going on TV, and it's not coming to rule America. But it is funnier than shit to hear the group begging for police to be gone in one sentence and then crying because they did not help them in another. Funny how you only want the cops when you need their protection. What a fool. This man is a complete fool. First of all, Black Lives Matter is not a terrorist group. You want to call Black Lives Matter a terrorist group, but you failed to call the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, a terrorist group who has terrorized black people and those whites who support black people for years. But you failed to call them out. But you want to call a group that's bringing light to the plight of black men and black women a terrorist group? Shame on you, Mike. You're ignorant. Then to say what anti-white and anti-American, Black Lives Matter isn't anti-white. Black Lives Matter is anti-white supremacy. And let me just speak for myself. I love white people, but I hate white supremacy. Period. I hate white supremacy. And my friend, most Americans do not consider Black Lives Matter a terrorist group. And if they do, they're very, very miseducated and fail to realize what the movement represents. There's some foolish people in this world, y'all. Then he goes on to say that we want the police gone. We don't want the police gone. We want the police to just do their job. And it's funny how we're begging for police help. We're not begging for police help. We are bringing light to police not doing their job. They're not doing their job. And it's not coming to rule America. And this terrorist group will be treated as such. Is that a threat? Is that a threat? And people wonder why I carry my firearm with me. Because ignoramuses like Mike, they want to say dumb stuff like this. No, good and well, Black Lives Matter, not one person is not going to go up to no group of bikers. I don't know what video he was talking about, but it was the video I was speaking of. And then to go on and say all this misleading things about the Black Lives Matter movement just further solidify that people are purposely overlooking the point and principle of Black Lives Matter. All lives can't matter until Black lives matter. If you say all lives matter, Black lives is in the all lives, but when our lives are treated as they don't matter, you can't legitimately say all lives matter because Black lives don't matter. Black lives are in the all lives matter. So once again, Black lives matter. So I come across another video, again in Bethel, Ohio, of a young white woman. She like she was a teenager, maybe 17, 18. She's walking around with a sign that says Black Lives Matter. So these cowards, it was a group of them. I guess Bethel, Ohio is just full of racists. They take the girl's sign, tear it up, and then punch her in the face. This girl couldn't have been no more than 5 foot tall. She's a little woman, small in stature. They intimidate her, bumping her with their chest, tear up her sign, and then punch her in the face. What a man you are. What a man you are that will punch a girl in the face. Shame on you, idiots of Bethel, Ohio. I'm not sure if the police did anything. The video cut off when the police was walking to the area and he was pointing, looked like he was pointing at the person who hit the girl, but I'm not sure if anything was done. Preferably something was done and he was arrested. Preferably he would suffer the consequences of his ignorant actions. How dare you be so stupid? How dare you be so blind? Like, we're trying to bring awareness to what's going on in Black America. We're hurting. We've been treated like animals. And you might think that just because someone may disagree with what you're saying, that we're anti-white and anti-America. Why would we be anti-America when we built this place? We built America. Slave labor. Free labor. To fill the pockets of those white slave owners. We built this country. Get that straight. And your ancestors came here voluntarily. My ancestors were forced to come here. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. We were forced to come here. Stripped of our language, stripped of our names. Most Black people don't know what tribe they came from. I'm going to do some research so I can find out what tribe I came from. You can say, oh, well, I'm Polish American, I'm Italian American, because you know where you come from. Many of us don't know exactly where we come from. We come from Africa, but there are many different places in Africa. We were forced to come here. You guys came here voluntarily. You want to say the nonsense that we are anti-American. No, we're anti-Black folk getting killed in the street by police officers. And I want to say this. We have to get out of saying black on black crime. There's no such thing as black on black crime. When you put a group of people in one area, you take away education, you take away resources. It's all economic, people. Economics. And people are going to resort to violence because they don't have anything else to turn to. Yes, I know Chicago this past weekend, 101, 2, maybe a shot, 14 fatal. But that's how they set it up. They purposely set it up like that. If you go in the inner cities of Chicago, very little resources. And they put, oh, it's a lot of drugs there because they put drugs there. It's a lot of guns there because they put guns there. I know, I've seen it firsthand. In alleys, big barrels of guns. In alleys, big barrels of drugs just sitting there. We don't have access to different boats or connections to go over to wherever to get the drugs to come in here. So how did it get here? You put it there. And then you want to blame us for acting the way that we act. You indoctrinate us with hate one for another during slavery. You don't give us any treatment to deprogram us from what you programmed us during slavery. And then when we continue to act how you made us act, you blame us. There's no black on black crime. Crime is colorless. And I don't want to hear no more of this nonsense where black lives won't matter to anybody else until they matter to black people. Horse crap. We were placed in an area, things taken from us. How in the world can a child learn when he go to school and he's hungry? How can a child learn when he don't know where his next meal is coming from? When he's getting ridiculed because of his clothes or ridiculed because of his shoes. And it's because mom and dad don't have the education or the resources to provide. So for them to provide, they resort to crime. And it was forced on us. And then you want to condemn us for being that way when you made it that way for us? Miss me with that. Miss me with that. And now when we come together and begin to scream for our rights and scream for how we should be treated, we're looked at as being anti-American, and now we're a terrorist group. Black Lives Matter ain't never hung nobody. Black Lives Matter didn't riot and loot Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921 over a lie from a white woman that said a wealthy black man raped her. That's terrorist action right there, Mike. That's terrorist behavior right there, Mike. Hanging Robert Fuller in California. That's terrorist activity. And about 4 or 5 more people have been hung by a tree, a noose. That's terrorist behavior, Mike. Black Lives Matter hasn't hung anybody, hasn't terrorized anybody. And I don't want to hear this crap about looters and people burning down, because you can't say that those who are supporting this movement did those things. You don't have any proof about that, because there were those who were down protesting and rioting and looting all because they saw an opportunity. Black Lives Matter, we want to push the movement that our lives need to be treated better. Our lives need to be valued. Miss me with that nonsense. Miss me with that nonsense. All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, my brothers and sisters. They matter. Black lives are valued. As much contribution we've done to this nation, all the inventions, all the music, all the artistic work that has gone on in this nation by black people, and you still want to treat us like dogs and animals? No more. It's a new day. Black Lives Matter, my brothers and sisters. Know your rights. Educate yourselves so you can make informed decisions and informed actions. Black Lives Matter. Let me say it again. Black Lives Matter. This is ODJ, Otis Drip Jones, MrDoItMan himself.